Viking wobbler.
Yeah, but if anything happens, just please follow all the instructions given to you by Stuart or myself or any Scottish Canal staff who arrive on site. So anyway, we are underway. What's happening now is the wheel is rotating, obviously. Once we get to the top, they'll open the gates, we'll go along the aqueduct, we'll go through the Rough Castle Tunnel. We then come to the basin at the end of the Union Canal. If you're not familiar with the canals around here, the Union Canal starts at the top and goes 32 miles all the way right through to Edinburgh. Behind you and below you, you've got the Forth and Clyde Canal. That starts down in Grangewick, where the Kelpies are. Sure many of you have heard of the Kelpies? Yep, starts down there and goes all the way through to the west side of Glasgow, to a place called Bowling. Anyway, back to that basin, we turn round to the basin, come back through the tunnel, back along the aqueduct, back into the top of the wheel. Hopefully when we get back to the top of the wheel, we'll have a good view of the Forth Valley, weather permitting. Should get good visibility, and I'll be able to point out some features connected to the canal, both historic and current. So it's a matter of sitting back and enjoying it. During the trip, you are welcome to lower windows at the side if you want and take photographs. Keep in mind, the bottom of the canal is littered with camera phones. If you've got a lanyard or a wrist strap or something, please use it. You're also today, but if it does change quickly and it turns a wee bit foul, you leave the door open, you're going to make enemies of the front row very quickly. So, just watch what you're doing. Okay. Nice and quiet, isn't it? Yeah, amazingly quiet. Yeah. At the moment you've got 18.5 kilowatts of power moving you. Very little power put into water, it will displace 1 kilogram of water. This part here that we're sitting in, we call this a gondola. It holds 250 tons of water. When we put a 50-ton about 3 or 4 inches into the water, and that slows it down considerably. Yep. So you had a... two canals probably. You'll see my thunder, I'll tell you about that on the way back. Go through the Union, through the Forth like you got any further. Well, depends. If you go in some parts of Edinburgh at sea level, yeah, but you're going in there, as I say, that's. £17.5 million went towards the wheel complex. Before that £17.5 million, you've got the locks which come in off the Forth and Clyde Canal, you've got the basin, you've got the visitor centre, and you've got the wheel. You've got the aqueduct, you've got the tunnel, you've got this basin, you've got the 2 locks and 3 gates which go up onto the Union, and you've got 1.3 kilometres of new canal, because the Union used to finish further east of here. So it's actually quite good value when you think you can win £17.5 million on a...
When you were saying that, I thought, I don't want to watch your 4-minute video.
Just about 15 miles the other side of Glasgow.
Right folks, welcome back to the top of the wheel. You all got your return tickets handy? Yeah, it's okay, it's only 25 metres if you have to jump. Right, when we're up this height, it's usually a good opportunity to have a look out the windows and see what we can see. On a really good day, if we had fantastic visibility, we can actually see as far as Arica, a place out to on the west side. There's a mountain out there called Ben Arthur, sometimes known as the Cobbler, and that would be 40 miles as the crow flies, and that would be out to the west, which is off to your left. Unfortunately, we can't quite see it today. For those that are looking maybe towards slightly forward, those right at the front probably won't see it because there's a big chunk of metal in front of you, but if you're looking at the kind of 11 o'clock position, there's a couple. You can just see a couple of hills. That's up at Trossachs, up on Callander. Anybody been up towards Callander? Yeah. You've got Ben Moore, Ben Leddy, and Ben Vorlich up there, and you can just see them through the haze and the cloud at the moment. What I'd like you to do is look at the right-hand side. Can you see above the tree line there? Can you see some high flats poking their heads above the tree lines? Yeah. take a mental note of where they are. I'm going to come back to them in a couple of minutes, but they're quite important to the canals. But once we start moving, we lose sight of them very quickly. So, as I say, just to get you, get your eye and get an idea where they are. When we're up this height, I'm often asked, can you see the kelpies at Grangemouth? Have you all heard of the kelpies?
Yeah, just been there.
Yep. Is anybody? Yeah, and that's how the second set was made. So those ones down there are the originals, but the big ones, copies of copies. No, they're absolutely fantastic. If you haven't been and you're going, it's 104 feet tall. I'm just hoping the day they blow that up, I'm standing at the top here to watch it. I think it'll be fantastic.
Yeah.
Also, straight ahead of you, I'll try and get out of people's way, you can see just the you can see through the haze a range of hills. That's the Ochil Hills, across the other side of the River Forth. And the one that's we're looking almost directly north at the moment. The one that you can see with just a small rise on the top is Dymaid. And Dymaid gets its name from Dun or Dum, which means fort or fortress in Old Scots, and Maid, it comes from the Maite. The Maite were a confederation of tribes that lived over the north side of the River Forth and used to constantly come over here and start having fights with the Romans. They eventually had a truce, then they started fighting again, and the Romans went, I sod this, and they went back down to behind Hadrian's Wall. I'm quite glad they did go, actually. Might have been drinking Italian wine instead of Scotch whisky. I mentioned those high flats. They're just going down behind the trees. Many years ago, there was a connection between the Forth and Clyde Canal, which is in front of us, and the Union Canal behind us. And that connection was by a series of 11 locks. Where those high flats are, that's roughly where those 11 locks were. In fact, if you park to the back of the visitor centre here and you go back towards Falkirk, you come to a T-junction with the high flats in front of you. The road that's in front of you virtually sits right on top of where those 11 locks were. But they were closed down in 1933 and filled in, just through lack of use, because they were last used around about 1908. But when they were in operation, a lockkeeper's day was a long day, 15, 16 hours quite easily, simply because it took 5 to 6 hours to get a boat up or down those 11 locks. It took a long time. Each operation of a lock used about 3,500 tonnes of water. So over a busy day, just because the number of boats going up and down, 40, 50,000 tonnes of water was getting wasted. So let's do a quick comparison to the wheel. Going up, how much water did we waste?
None.
None. We take the water up with us and we take it back down with us. And in fact, if we do need a wee bit of water, rather than having it constantly cascade down the way to the Forth and Clyde Canal and eventually out to the sea, we can actually pump water back up. Water management is a very high priority in Scottish canals. And did it take us 5 to 6 hours to get up? No. Did anybody notice how long it does actually take? Going from a start to a stop. And it is actually written, see somebody's got it right at the front there. 5 minutes. It's actually written on the wall of the visitors centre for the eagle-eyed amongst you. Anybody else?
15 minutes.
No, 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's what I heard somebody say, 5 minutes. You got it right at the front anyway. 5 minutes. That's all it took us, 5 minutes. Now I mentioned earlier the fact that we used 18.5 kilowatts of power. We'll round it down to 18 for the sake of argument, and take those 5 minutes and 18.5 kilowatts, 18 kilowatts, and turn it into kilowatt hours, which is how your electricity bill is calculated. It comes out to 1.5 kilowatt hours. 1.5. I did a check on my electricity bill a good few weeks ago now. 1.5 kilowatt hours comes out to 21 pence.
Igen, sejtettem.
Még meg akartam látni Gergelyeket, mikor feljönnek.
Ez csak ennyi, hogy ez egy ilyen pumpa. Minél nagyobbat, és akkor úgy jön belőle egy víz. Ez nem működik. Próbáltuk itt kapott,